Here's what forgiveness is. Forgiveness is my personal decision to release a person from my personal right to collect on a debt they owe. It is my personal decision to release a person from my personal right to collect on a debt they owe. I give up my right to get even. That's what forgiveness is. And a couple of things about that definition. Notice this. You notice it's unilateral. It's my personal decision. You made the personal decision to take a debt out against me. I get to make the personal decision of whether or not to release you from that debt or not. That's what forgiveness is. Here's what it's not. It's not some kind of weird spiritual amnesia. You don't see Joseph in this story at any moment going, oh wait, there was a pit? Like, I don't have any idea what you're talking about. Like, I was in prison. You don't say. It gets totally clear in this story. He knows exactly what they did, exactly what they're asking, exactly what happened to him all along the way. He has to understand the debt in order to decide to pay it. It's not excusing the offense. It's not saying it's okay. We'll see it doesn't remove all of the consequences. It's the decision not to demand payment when I have every right to demand payment. So pay attention to that. If we say, I'll forgive them as long as they fill in the blank, you realize that's actually not really forgiveness. I mean, imagine you walked into the bank and you heard the banker talking about your home loan or your car loan and saying, we'll let them be free and clear after they fill in the blank. You realize they're not offering to forgive your debt. They may be offering to short sell. They may be offering to take less than what you fully owe, but they're not offering to forgive. They're just expecting lesser payment. That's different. It's not what Joseph does. How do we know what Joseph has done and how that he's forgiven? Well, you notice this is his chance to collect on the debt right here in this moment, and he doesn't. All Joseph has to do in this moment is to say, okay, hey, Reuben, pit number 1. Simeon, pit number 2, all the way down to pit number 10. Asher, take that one. I'm going to set a timer for 23 years and go have a picnic lunch. I'll catch you guys later. By the way, I'm Joseph. You can call me Mr. Prime Minister. Catch me outside, right? But he doesn't do that. This is his moment. He's already forgiven before they even get to this moment. He's aiming for even better than even. But on the other hand, and this is important, he doesn't just say to these guys, hey, I'm Joseph. Let's just let the whole thing be bygones. Let's just pretend it never happened. Let's go back to the way that things used to be. Hey, we're good. It's all in the past. It's all forgotten. Look at me now. He hasn't forgotten the whole thing. But he's aiming for even more than even from here. He's aiming for reconciliation. And reconciliation is totally different from forgiveness. Forgiveness is my personal decision to release you from my personal debt to collect or right to collect. Reconciliation is about putting the broken pieces of a relationship back together again. And that's different. Forgiveness doesn't need you. It doesn't require you. It's my personal decision. Reconciliation is a different story. Think of it this way. Forgiveness means canceling a debt. Reconciliation reflects a willingness to lend more credit. And I'm going to need in my story, Joseph's going to need in his story, you're going to need in your story something before a forgiven person is going to be allowed to be in a position to take more debt against you. From the very beginning, that's what Joseph's after. But he's not sure it's possible yet. It's not hard to understand then why Joseph, beginning in verse 24, begins to weep. This is often the most painful moment in a relationship, isn't it? When you've forgiven, but you're not sure reconciliation's possible. Or when you're pretty sure it won't be, that it can't be possible from here. What do you do from here? What do you do in this moment when you've forgiven, but you're not sure reconciliation is possible from here? Well, look what Joseph does. He paves a way back while not exacting payback. He paves a way back, but he doesn't exact payback. Before Joseph lends more credit, he's got to know and be able to trust. Do the patterns of their past continue to guide their present? And at least initially, he needs to know because there's some information he doesn't know. For all he knows at this moment in the story, these guys have already killed his younger brother and his father, and they're making up a story along the way. He doesn't know. But he's hoping and he's aiming for something better just in the off chance that it's possible from here.